You know, the thing that I told this doctor to get Butters his emotional service pet was actually a true story. When the people that threatened to kill me before they did it like publicly and had an outburst and got kicked out of the restaurant and stuff. A week before that, these people were like supposed to just sell my house. I don't even know them really. I don't know them at all. But I didn't know that they were friends with my mom's attorneys. But before that, this dude was out of nowhere. We'd just be walking around the house, like checking it out to see how to stage it and stuff. And he told me, yeah, you know what they'll do is they'll block your car in, like an intersection or something. And these black SUVs will pull up behind you, and they'll pump 50 caliber rounds that'll shred through any car's metal. You won't stand a chance. I'm like, I was thinking that maybe a plant in the corner of the living room, but you're talking about something completely fucking different, dude. What? What are you talking about? Just out of nowhere, this kind of shit. And sure enough, at one point in July, I knew I had to get the fuck out of Gilroy, and I knew I had to get the fuck out of the county. And I didn't realize I had to get the fuck out of the state of California because they followed me the fuck around everywhere. I went down to La Quinta at one point. The first night in an Airbnb down there. This is La Quinta, California, not the La Quinta Hotel. I was in an Airbnb. Somebody tried to break in. I had to call the fucking police, and they escorted me out of there. And from there, it was no more Airbnbs. I did try one more Airbnb up here in Vegas, but that was not safe either. And so, but at one point, I was staying at the Fairmont Hotel, which is like a world-renowned hotel at the top of Nob Hill in San Francisco. Butters, that thing is way too big for you, buddy. We gotta tighten it. He's been trying. Ever since I got it, the vest came today. I just put it on him, and he wants to go for a walk. He wants to go service some emotions because he's an emotional service pet now. But he really was. So when I went down to La Quinta, didn't want to set up an office or move down there. Then I was like, okay, well, let me go to San Francisco because I'm dealing with a bunch of racist, violent fucking Republican fucks that know judges or are judges or whatever. Let me go to San Francisco. Surely it'll be a better venue up there. Not even fucking close. And I went for a jog one night at like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And it's the middle of summer, you know, it was nice out. And I jogged down the hill, which was kind of easy. But I jogged a good distance and started to jog back. And I'm like, it's all the way up the hill to get back to the Fairmont. So I stopped I just got an Uber on my phone. And they're all electric cars up there. Everybody has electric cars. And I'm riding in the fucking Uber and the thing stops out of nowhere. The guy pulls over on like a side street. And by this time it's like midnight because I was on my way back up the hill. I was stopping at a couple places to just get appetizers and try different food and stuff. But it's like midnight and the first Uber just brakes randomly. It stops and he's like, I don't know what happened. And he kind of pulled off to the side and it's not busy at all. It's like a Tuesday at midnight, you know. And there was a few people out, a few crowd goers, but the Uber stops. I'm in the back seat, and all of a sudden, two fucking black SUVs just pull up, and I'm like, fuck. Are they just fucking with me? Is this like scare tactics movie? I'm like, I don't fucking think so, because they were pretty sincere in threatening to kill me. And I'm telling that Uber driver, I'm like, unlock the door, dude. I'm going to get out. I'll take a different Uber. And there's like 5 or 6 people like crossing the street and nobody else in sight. And I feel like whoever was in those cars behind me were waiting for them across the street so they can just unload on me, maybe. I don't know. You know, there's enough money in a billionaire's estate, it could be worth a couple billion. I don't know how much land Don owned, but I'm starting to realize it's a lot more than I fucking imagined. And his ranch, Christopher Ranch, how big he is? He's so fucking big. That was only probably like 10 or 20% of his net worth. And that business was probably worth 400 million by now. I don't know. But, so whatever he fucking left for me because he felt bad for putting me in jail because my mom was in his ear the whole time in 2011, and they sided with my ex-wife erroneously, big time. Like, my mom was telling him, that's when they created this stupid special needs trust, and they were trying to send psychiatrists out to the jail to deem me incompetent to stand trial. Well, fucking I was in jail for shit like credit card fraud for using my own credit card. Have my fucking name on it. I'm like, what the fuck? So I started posting flyers everywhere. I think a lot of people remember that shit. That would drive anybody fucking crazy a little bit. So then they arrested me for vandalism under $400 of damaging the street poles that I was posting flyers about the political corruption, which posting on street flyers for missing pets or garage sales and shit like that, or notifying the public of, you know, judicial and political corruption, it's 100% legal to do. So they arrested me for two things that were completely legal, and one of the last things they got me was the vandalism under $400 for the street poles. Bail amount for that charge, $750,000 fucking dollars. I don't think people understand the fucking magnitude and how fucked up it is and how fucked up it was back then. But this time around, blows it out of the water. So that whole story with the fucking car breaking down, and so I'm like, dude, get me the fuck out of the Prius, whatever I think it was a Prius or a Volt, Chevy Volt or something. And the window was cracked just a little bit, enough to where I could pull it down with my fingers a little bit more. And I got my arm out, and the door wouldn't open from the inside, but it was unlocked if you opened it from the outside. I guess child lock or something. And then I got out, I was like, and I fucking booked it. And then I ducked into another fucking bar. At this point, I'm fucking kind of freaking out because I feel like they're really trying to kill me. If there's enough money of whatever Don left for me because he felt bad for doing all that shit, and he saw me come out of that fucking mess in 2012, 2013, I got out of jail, and I never fucking needed anybody's money, and all his family and all my family who had been given money to start businesses and they failed every fucking time or barely squeaked by. Like, the only way my sister made money in her house flipping business in the 2008, 2009, Dawn was cutting her fucking cashier's check for $2 million. Here's $2 million. Go buy another house, couple houses at the auction for, I'm like, goddamn, if you ever did that with me, I'd be fucking bawling out so hard right now. I don't like to brag, but I'm pretty fucking good with business shit. And I learned a lot of it from Dawn. And the other part I learned from my real dad who taught me restoration. And anyways, they want me dead. They wanted me dead or in jail. And they told me that, they were going to try to kill me and get me put in jail. And then they tried to. And so I got out of the fucking Uber. I ran. I ducked into a thing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm tripping the fuck out at this point because for the last 10 years, I work 10 to 12 hours a day and I golf 3 to 4 times a week. And that's the fuck it. It's just a normal routine of run a business, golf. I have my small circle of friends, and then I get out of that bar, I think it's like 1 or 2, and I get another Uber. There's a different one. And this time I know, like, I had to use the seatbelt latch to put in between the door and the fucking where it closes, the door latch. That way, And sure the fuck enough, it happened again. This dude's car just died. It's like, well, I mean, electric cars might make that kind of noise, but you know what I mean. And it died, and I'm like, okay, I got this one. I'm out this motherfucker, because the car's pulled up again, and it wasn't a group of people or anything. It looked like 3 or 4 really well groomed and well healthy looking, quote unquote, homeless people that were just starting to approach the car like they were gonna rob me. I had cash on me. I keep cash when you're in a situation like this. You gotta have cash. My family's abusing this conservatorship, locking up credit cards for no reason, taking my own money that I've saved out of my own fucking business. Man, they took a lot of money. They took a ton of money out of my business, because that's their end goal, is to like make me look like I don't know how to manage money, so they can go to the courts and say, oh, we get to keep whatever his inheritance is and keep me in a fucking conservatorship. Like, what? I'm like, better. You guys should be relying on me. Let's take whatever Dawn left our family for my brother, my sister, my mom, and all our kids. Now let's grow it. And she's, so far, Karen, my mom, she's spent fucking almost $200,000 on attorneys trying to sue me for property that was gifted in trust to us, that she had me invest $600,000 worth of remodel work into. Like, how much fucking money do you need? There's already $30 million of assets in there. You want to take my little $600,000 that I've saved up for all these years, and the other 300 and another, like, they've taken a lot. It's so frustrating. It takes a lot of patience not to want to just go fucking over there and hurt an attorney. Like, I feel bad for my mom, like she's being taken advantage of. I don't hate my family. I really don't like what they're doing. I wish they would talk to me like an adult and what do you guys want? When they first notified me of this special needs trust or whatever, I said, Mom, whatever, leave. If Don left me anything, and it looks like he did, because you guys aren't giving me the latest version of the will, which is a 2016 version, he didn't tell anybody he was going to do, and he did it. And that's the one that I think holds a significant amount for him, feeling bad for what he kind of put me through based on what my mom told him back in the day. She was like, oh, he's going to need a caretaker forever. Like, well, obviously that wasn't true. And I don't know if a lot of people think, oh, Kevin has nice cars and money because of his stepdad. Like, nah. When I got out of jail in 2013, I had the clothes on my back in San Jose, went to a halfway house, and I had nothing. And I built what I built from nothing. I saved $10,000 over 2 years, living in a converted garage and apartments. And I'm like, that was after getting my business taken away the first time for fucking using credit card fraud, using my own credit card, and all the lies in family court. Anyways, they did try to kill me twice. And I'm getting back to the point of this video, which is, I think it was that night or the next night. So I'm freaking out at that point. And now it's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And all of a sudden I just see and hear, people leaving the hotel rooms in the middle of fucking night, and they're going across the street, and they're getting in cars. There's another hotel across the street that some people were checking into, or some people were leaving. I'm like, you got families and kids and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is everybody? I go down, I'm talking to the staff. I'm like, why is everybody leaving? He's like, I don't know, maybe they got to go catch a flight. But like, everybody left the hotel. And then the staff started leaving. And there was one guy left. And then an Arabian dude pulls up, totally looks like a fucking terrorist, in a beat up fucking older model like Corolla. He starts wheeling in these little small pallets of these tiny white boxes. I'm like, they're going to fucking 9/11 this shit. Because I'm pretty sure this was after they threatened to kill me. I can't remember if it was before or after, or if it was after, like, their cops' attempt to arrest me for a warrant that never existed, and then force me in the back of the ambulance where this guy was doing a lot of questionable shit. But I'm like, they're gonna just blow up this building. I have a history with fireworks. It's not a hard story to fucking to sell that story. Like, they want me dead or in prison. They made it fucking clear right off the bat. And after all the failed attempts, like, I see this shit going on. I'm like, everybody's leaving the hotel. There's one staff member left, and now a fucking terrorist-looking motherfucker rolls up with some little tiny white boxes on a pallet. What the fuck is he delivering at 3 a.m? And so I said, fuck it. I let this guy right here, Butters. I'm like, Butters, you lead the way. Lead me out of fucking here, and let's get the fuck out of here. I mean, I could have just walked down to the elevators and stuff, but I don't know. I just felt compelled to let him go. And I followed him. And he was sniffing around. And we made it down to the lobby. And eventually, there's 2 big fucking lions right when you walk into that place. And it was so cool. I think I got some pictures. He was like sitting next to him. And I didn't go back to my hotel room until the sun came up. And by that time, Butters was out front of the fucking Fairmont, just chilling in the tree. And there was crowds, a lot of Asian tourists, but there was a lot of crowds, like professional photographers. They were all taking pictures with this little guy. And then all of a sudden, everybody came back from the other hotel and whatever. So I'm like, you know, that kind of shit, those little things, I don't know. I could only speculate. On like the black SUVs pulling up after the cars broke down twice, that for sure fucking happened. If anybody wants to try to look in to see if the streets of San Francisco, this would be in between. Fuck, I'm trying to remember the name of the restaurant, but I mean, where I jogged to was at the fucking Fairmont, all the way down to like the Burger King, which is going towards the freeway, and up and down all that area. I mean, if anybody pulls camera footage from the city, the Freedom of Information Act, you'll fucking see it. Like, I'm not fucking tripping on that shit. This is what this guy said would happen. I don't know if these guys are CIA or Secret Service. I don't know if it has to relate to a very controversial prescription that was issued by the court's top psychiatrist, who I was going to prior to any court cases back in 2011. First started with Adderall, and then Desoxyn, which is, you know, you can Google that, DESOXYN. And that was after false allegations were made of me abusing it. And so I never gave a fuck about prescriptions. I have nothing but clean drug tests on file with the court, about 58 of them, and 0 failed ones. And I've only ever had 10% custody of my kids while, you know, an abusive ex-wife convinced a billionaire to fucking bribe Sheriff Laurie Smith, who got indicted. And so this is a big fucking deal. This is taking down a group of judges and high-level officials, and a controversial thing where they took my kids away for false allegations after passing drug tests right when it first went down. I left my ex-wife because she was so abusive. My mom and Don took my kids and hid them for 2 weeks, and they were like demanding drug tests, which they attended with me at like MedTalk's facility. They saw the passing drug test. I'm like, I'm not going to argue a fucking Adderall prescription for my kids. I was running my business back then at KR Restoration, and we had contracts with the governor's office, working in a state prison while this was going on. I'm like, how the fuck would you think I'm a raging, violent fucking drug addict? Like, this is my own mom doing this, and I can only chalk it up to like, she just must have still have resentments towards my real dad, who may or may not have cheated on her. I don't know, but I guess we look similar. Maybe have more, more of a vibrant character. I don't know what the fuck I would say, but they tried to fucking kill us, and I think they tried to fucking blow that building up. I could still be a target. I don't know. We've been through a lot, this guy and I. Buddy. So that's what I used. Because the doctors, they screen this shit, and And he's protected me a lot of the times. Like, nobody's gonna break in here. This guy fucking, if I'm not here, he's coming after you. He accidentally put 2 holes in somebody a couple weeks ago. I felt bad, but they were like writing something down on a piece of paper or scribbling something out, and he saw the pen going back and forth. He lunged at the pen and caught this person, one of his nails through the lip and pierced the hole, and then another one through the nose. So he's absolutely a support pet for sure, man. And a friend. Like, when I had to up and leave my kids, you know, I had friends too that I miss over there in Gilroy, and I had a routine and all my employees, and for this type of thing to happen, and then my own immediate family, like I don't think my mom realizes how serious or what's going on here. I don't think, you know, I think she just pays attorneys who tell her, you know, give us money and we'll go do the things we need to do to bring you back more money. And man, that addiction to money. That last interaction I had with my mom was, I think I texted her in December, I don't know, 6-7 months ago, and I was like, hey, you know those attorneys that you hired? They have these associates whose brother was murdered, and they were questioning a disappearance of somebody, which is all true. And I said, they threatened to kill me in front of my job cost accountant, who's also a notary. Like, I'm not making this shit up. They did it at West Side Grill. Then they got thrown the fuck out of the restaurant. This dude was pounding on the tables, like dropping N-bombs. I'm like, I'm not even black, you fucking idiot. But this is just the type of fucking people, I guess, that they are. And my mom just replied, I can't talk to you. I'm like, oh, okay. So I would love nothing more than to just end. Like, what? I don't even know what the fuck they want. You want all my money? You want, like, all I want is for them to get me out of this fucking conservatorship. Because for the last fucking 10 to 12 years, they've been skimming money out of my fucking bank account for my business. I deposited $17 million throughout the 8 years I ran my business. Year over year growth. Hustling. So fucking many hours. Like 8-9 years of running this business. And they were skimming money. And I was always telling my former project manager, who's also one of my best friends, fucking Anthony, like, I was like, dude, where's all the fucking money going? He's like, I don't know. He's like, it's not me. And well, now I fucking know. And they were skimming money and utilizing an attorney out of Morgan Hill who was in cahoots with my payroll lady. And they were taking an extra 3 to 5%. And when I was depositing $300,000 a month, I'm not going to notice that until a lot of big jobs start closing and the numbers are off. I still made good money, but they took about $600,000 over the last 3 years. And, you know, I deposited a little over $9 million in that time frame. So that was, you know, was it 7%, something like that, 6%? But they definitely tried to kill us for sure. Huh, Butters? Man, I ran a lot that night. I didn't grab my shoes or nothing, Jesus. No. I like that fucking, that clip. Ain't nobody got time for that, right, Butters? We don't have time for that shit. And once I got out here, they kept going with this attack. They kept financially fucking squeezing me. The goal was to get an apartment out here. Fucking, that took me 3 months to get out of like hotel hopping. To be able to, I had to start wearing body cams, to go into the fucking bank and be like, why can't I pull out my own money? You know, I don't know how many times in Wells Fargo or Chase, and I'm like, I was so fed up, I would just call 911 and be like, yeah, this bank's robbing me. They have my money, they won't fucking give it to me. And I'm like, what's the reason for this? Oh, our system says this. Well, their system is a fucking bullshit conservatorship order that my sister and my mom and my ex-wife were using to take money out of my business and then using to financially drain me so they can go to the courts and be like, look, he's not good with money, so they can keep whatever was left for me. It's the most disgusting the most disgusting thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. And for me to tell my mom that somebody threatened to kill me, if my kids ever fucking told me that, you know what? Ugh. I can't even imagine it. So everybody out there that has kids, you know, it's so fucking heartbreaking that I'm like, I'm not a violent person. I will get very frustrated and they'll take my reactions when they fuck with my kids and give them to a fucking abuser. Like, then they take those reactions and be like, oh, see, he's crazy. See these things he's saying online and stuff. I'm like, they fucking went and lied to a family court, Susie did, saying, oh, Kevin called his construction attorney who called the police and said he threatened to kill his daughter, and then he got arrested. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's any proof of that? What the fuck? So I file responses in court, and they don't even, I think they just shred my fucking responses. I'm like, I checked with the police department, and there's no record of any of that because it never fucking happened. I would never fucking threaten to hurt my daughter. And for my ex-wife to fucking say something like that, to just take him away from me and get a permanent restraining order? Last year, that's what they did. I'm like, I didn't have time to deal with that case that much because I was having to fucking not get murdered and arrested, you know. But now I'm having to address it. I'm like, this court has fucking fucked over my kids so hard and put them in the wrong hands so many times. Like still the imminent threat is there for the whole drinking and driving shit. And it's very fucking frustrating for them to go say that I'm threatening to kill my own daughter when in fact they're sending actually real fucking murderers to come fucking threatening to kill me and try to kill me. And I'm the fucking asshole. I get ran out of town like I'm a crazy one. You know, like I can't fucking wait. I can't wait for the day that justice comes because it's coming, dude. Like it's coming. I know in my heart of hearts it's coming. And they've done a lot of fucking damage. A lot of time I won't get back. A lot of firsts that I'll never get back. And I'm the type of dad that like, I'm always there for my kids. I'm always there for them. And I always give them my fucking honest opinion on stuff, but I'll always back them. Even if I know they're going to do something and it's not going to work, I let them. And I'm behind them 1,000,000%. I can't imagine ever fucking suing one of my kids or hiring attorneys that threatened to that sent someone to threaten to hurt one of my kids. You know, if it wasn't fucking cops and sheriffs and DAs and judges that I had to worry about, and it was just this guy Ray and his stupid wife who threatened to kill me, I would have already beat the shit out of him. You know, I would have found him or I would have paid somebody to go beat the fucking shit out of him. But I'm up against the law enforcement. I can't, my hands are tied with this shit. But if, goddamn it, if anybody ever fucking does that shit, and they're doing it now, like they're endangering my fucking daughter. Nobody, you know, people may want to argue that. She stole my car drunk at 14, nearly killed herself. She totaled the whole fucking car when I was in a golf league. And that's because her fucking mom and her stupid fucking punk stepdad, if I see any one of those two, you know, I might be inclined to fucking intervene. This is fucking serious now. You're fucking playing with my kids' lives. You're lying to judges and shit. Bitch, you're hurting my kids. You nearly killed my fucking son with opioids. You know, I'm fucking done. I have a right to go over there and fuck shit up. And if anybody stops me, I'll fucking put a bullet in your fucking head. Grant and Susie, I'll put a fucking bullet in your head. You got that, bitch? You don't fuck with my kids anymore. You're going to fucking prison. I'm going to make sure of it. Fuck you.